think even the Chinese government controls the price of electricity just to make it as simple as possible, as slow as possible. You're seeing a lot of models that were trained in China and then deployed, and the inference is run locally. Like you can deploy it in Europe, you can deploy it in US, and whatever zone you are politically or just corporate restricted. But because this training phase requires a lot of power, requires a lot of GPUs, then if you can run it on a place where you have not almost unlimited, but at least very cheap power, then it's going to be a trend. And unless somewhere in Europe we start to build a lot of nuclear facilities, or there's a major breakthrough in these small fusion reactors, then I think it's going to be even bigger trend in the future to have these models trained elsewhere and deployed here.
I think also a great way, I mean, just to reverse maybe the argument you're making, Joao, is like if we get cheaper price per tokens and we assume we want to spend the exact same amount of money, we can let it think twice as much, for example. So it's actually not only that we need to necessarily cut costs and it gets cheaper, but maybe we can assume, okay, we want to spend 100 million or 50 million on inference. We can actually now just let the model think more. So aka the model output, the reasoning output might be better given a particular set of price. So if once we yield token prices or compute prices next to zero, there's infinite intelligence because it can think infinitely on all the problems and it can just optimize itself over and over and over again. We talked about this exactly today with memories, with the reasoning engines and so on and so forth. So if electricity is next to zero, compute hopefully is next to zero, and we can let it think and do whatever infinitely. So that's
I don't think it's infinite intelligence. There's only like, at least for a given model, it's only like he can get
as good as it gets.
As good, like as smart as it can get. But you can